Silvani, where we are standing, a few years back was a remote tribal area where knowledge from outside had not entered. Their life was untouched by the modern facilities and knowledge. Literacy rate was merely 15%, and that too just to read and write. People were living in utter poverty and were exploited by landlords and moneylenders. In this situation, CMI priests entered here and started rural development programs. Starting with their neighborhood villages, the development programs were extended to other villages. With the pioneering priests, the religious sister communities, namely FCC, Martha and Sisters of Jesus, entered into this noble venture. The works were intensified in different sub-centers. The pioneers focused their attention on education of the rural masses. In the absence of knowledge to read and write and basic calculations, the simple villages were exploited by moneylenders and merchants. So we started boarding houses in 4 centers for children, adult education for the grown-ups, and non-formal schools in 140 villages. Thus it was creating revolution in villages. People started to become aware of their rights. Yes, truly the changes brought by the efforts of RDSS agitated the affluent people. Exploiters were not happy with people becoming aware of their rights and knowing things. But in front of the power of the people, the opposition subsided gradually. Along with education, economic and social development were also necessary. During the 5 months of rainy season, the villages used to be cut off from the mainland. No communication, transport and medical facilities available. Transport and communication was the primary condition for development. The road construction to rural villages was a big challenge. A lot to bring the network of roads to villages without the support of government and civil authorities. Along with the education and network of roads, focus was also given to the self-sustenance of the villages. They were all small landholders. Their land was not cultivable. So they became daily laborers, leaving peasantry and their own land. Developing their land and bring them back to peasantry was another big challenge. An area covering more than 1,000 hectares of land was converted into arable land. As the land was made cultivable, we distributed improved variety of seeds to the farmers. During the crop season, the farmers depended on landlords for borrowing seeds at an exorbitant interest rate. So we started seed banks to distribute improved variety of seeds to the farmers and sustain their needs. With this, we started renovation of wells, irrigation ponds to support their crops and increase agriculture production. It was actually a happy time for RDSS to see farmers coming back to peasantry and occupy their own land. Vast area of land was cultivated with enhanced production. Eventually, strategic change took place by the shift from literacy to quality education, subsistence agriculture to sustainable agriculture, and transferring leadership to community-based organizations. Only quality education can make the dreams of the villages a reality. Leadership emerged in the village communities, and they became the instruments of change and beacon of future. At present, we take care of 2,000 students, 300 in 4 boarding houses, 900 students in preschools, 600 in model Anganwadis, and 200 in residential schools. And these students are the toppers in the district. Our students represent district and state level sports and games competitions. Impact of the works in RDSS has attracted the attention of administrative officials. Government officials are sending administrative probationers to our centers. People were organized in community-based organizations. There are around 250 self-help groups which involve in saving, income generation, and providing microcredits to families. The self-help groups are guided and supported by Women Federation and Farmers Society. The women and farmers are given continuous training and capacity building for improving skills and empowerment. The women and farmers are helped to link with government programs and financial institutions. In order to sustain the agriculture and improve the standard of their living, innovations are introduced in agriculture. New scientific methods of farming, improved traditional methods of cropping are introduced with the backup of watershed structures and organic farming. Check dams, irrigation ponds, irrigation wells, and creation of farm bunds are the major interventions made in the current period. Kitchen gardens are also established in villages to sustain their home needs. Now the poor farmers are comfortable with surplus in agriculture and normal with sustainable income.
It's not the end of our journey. We have a long way to go. But we see the smile in the face of the people. It's a smile of satisfaction. It's a smile of determination. We see the dance of joy, dance of hope, and a new sunrise.